Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. Welcome. I am Jason Palmer, Vice Dean of Stetson University College of Law. It's my distinct privilege and honor to welcome our honored guests, our students, faculty, family members, spouses, partners, and friends, and most importantly, graduates. Welcome to our May 2026 commencement ceremony. You preempted me. I was going to say, let's hear it for our graduates, and you beat me to it. Today, we recognize the classes of December 2025 and May and August 2026. We are delighted that you could all be with us today for this amazing celebration. First, I would like to acknowledge our active duty military personnel and our veterans in this graduating class, in our faculty, and in our audience. Please stand so we can recognize your service. Thank you. Let me take a moment to introduce those on stage with me and those who are part of the procession. We are honored to have with us this afternoon Dr. Elizabeth Scomp, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs of Stetson University. Stephen Alexander, Chair of Stetson's University Board of Trustees. Ann Mullins, Associate Dean for Assessment and Professional Engagement and Professor of Law. Stacy Ray Simcox, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Director of the Veterans Law Institute, and Professor of Law. Jason Turner, Chair of Stetson University College of Law Board of Overseers. Howard Williams, President of Stetson Lawyers Alumni Association. William Austin Dodson, President of the Student Bar Association. And our commencement keynote speaker, Michael Laparco, one of our most distinguished alumni. To kick off today's event, I'd like to share a video message from our College of Law Dean, Benjamin Barrows.
Greetings, class of 2026. I'm sorry I can't be with you today. I'm in upstate New York celebrating my younger son's college graduation. We came into Stetson together. I still remember greeting you as a new dean at orientation. When I think about the last 3 years, I've had a lot of fun. It's occasionally been really complicated, occasionally been stressful, I think, for all of us, but it's been a really good 3 years for me. I think it's been a great 3 years for you guys too. Think about all that you've accomplished. Think about how you came in here not knowing much of anything about law. Now you're incredibly skilled legal professionals. We're really proud of all you've accomplished so far. We really look forward to seeing all that you will accomplish in the future. Take pride in being a Stetson lawyer. Congratulations and good luck.
Today is more than a ceremony. It's a celebration of you as graduates, of the support of your family and friends, and of all the faculty and staff who are proud to call this law school home. This moment is especially meaningful because it comes during Stetson University College of Law's 125th anniversary. For 125 years, this institution has helped shape the legal profession, setting a standard of excellence that endures across generations. Today, you graduates take your place in that legacy. Let's be honest, the journey wasn't always easy. Law school is demanding, and you aren't graduating from just any law school. You're graduating from Stetson Law. Stetson Law, a place where the bar is set high and the results speak for themselves. A place that does more than teach the law, it shapes leaders. You now carry forward a tradition that stands among the very best. As you step into your careers, take a moment to reflect on what you've gained during your time here. Let's begin with advocacy and legal excellence. You did not simply learn the law, you learned how to think like lawyers. You honed your skills in legal writing, advocacy, and analysis at an institution nationally ranked for excellence. Stetson Law's #1 U.S. News rankings in legal writing and advocacy are not abstractions. They are reflected in your preparation, your confidence, and your ability to persuade. Through experiential learning and real-world practice, you developed adaptability, sound judgment, humility, and courage. Those skills are embodied in a proud record of achievements throughout the 125 years of Stetson Law. How? By this: more than 100 national championships, 6 world championships, 110 regional championships, and 57 state championships, earned by you and the generations before you. Second, professional identity and integrity. Through programs like the Inns of Court and the broader culture of Stetson Law, you learn something equally important. Not just how to practice law, but who you are as professionals and what kind of lawyers you aspire to be. You learned that professionalism is not optional. You were trained to communicate with clarity and purpose, to understand the weight of your words, and to uphold the law with honor. You leave here equipped with competence, candor, diligence, and a deep understanding of ethics and professional responsibility. Third, service and community impact. Becoming a lawyer is a tremendous responsibility. You learned that the practice of law is not merely a profession, it's a public trust. Your communities will look to you in their most vulnerable moments. Here at Stetson Law, you learn to lead with empathy, resourcefulness, and commitment. That commitment is evident in the more than 27,000 hours of legal and non-legal pro bono service contributed by you and your classmates. This spirit of service will define your careers just as much as your legal skills. Congratulations, graduates. Take pride in being members of the Stetson University College of Law class of the 125th anniversary era. We celebrate you, your accomplishments, and this milestone moment. Today, we honor all that you have achieved, and we look ahead with confidence, hope, and excitement for all that you will do. Congratulations. And now we have greetings from Stetson University President, Dr. Christopher Rolke.
Good afternoon. I'm so sorry that I cannot be with you in person today due to a medical procedure, but please know that I am with you in spirit for this very special and celebratory occasion. We gather today to celebrate the accomplishments of our students who have rightfully earned their Juris Doctor and other advanced law degrees. Congratulations to the extraordinary Stetson University College of Law Class of 2026. You have reached the culmination of a remarkable journey, and I commend you for your resilience, your discipline, and your unwavering commitment to excellence. Your friends, families, faculty, and staff are assembled today to celebrate you. Today is indeed a day of celebration. Students, you have not only met the rigorous demands of a Stetson legal education, you have done so during a time of profound complexity and change in our world. In doing so, you have developed the critical thinking, ethical reasoning, and practical skills that will enable you to lead and serve with distinction. As you join the proud tradition of Stetson Law graduates, you now take on a profound responsibility, the responsibility to promote justice. The law is not simply a profession, it is a calling. It is a commitment to fairness, to integrity, and to the rule of law. It is a commitment to ensuring that every voice can be heard and that every person is treated with dignity. As you leave this place, I urge you to carry forward that commitment. Be courageous in your pursuit of justice. Be principled in your decisions. Be compassionate in your service to others. Commit yourself to being thoughtful, ethical advocates, not only for your clients, but also for your communities and for society as a whole. The mission of the Stetson University College of Law calls upon each of you to have a meaningful and far-reaching impact on the law, on the profession, and on society. That mission now rests in your hands. Here at Stetson, you have learned not only the law, but how to apply it with integrity and with the highest levels of professionalism. Those qualities, integrity, professionalism, and a commitment to justice will define your careers and will define your legacy. As you grow and as you thrive, I challenge you to help others to do the same. Extend kindness, lead with empathy, use your knowledge and your voice to strengthen institutions, to protect rights, and to advance justice. This is how you become the lawyer you set out to be. And this is how you will make a difference in our world. Congratulations to the outstanding Stetson University College of Law, class of 2026. We are proud of you, we love you, and we believe in you. And we look forward to the many ways you will advance justice and serve the greater good. Congratulations, and go Hatters!
Thank you, President Rolke. Please join with me to welcome Chairman Stephen Alexander to offer greetings.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What an extraordinary day to celebrate the conclusion of your time at Stetson Law and the beginning of what I trust will be a meaningful and impactful legal career. My name is Stephen Alexander. I've had the privilege to serve as the chair of the Stetson University Board of Trustees, and on behalf of the board, I want to extend sincere congratulations to the class of 2026. Today, you join a powerful community of Stetson alumni, individuals who have dedicated themselves to upholding justice, protecting rights, and improving lives. The legacy now continues through you. I encourage you to stay connected to your classmates and to your Stetson network. Some of your most important relationships and opportunities were built right here. As you prepare to enter the legal profession, remember this is more than a career path, it is a calling. As President Obama once said, the arc of the moral universe may bend towards justice, but it does not bend on its own. We must do the work of making sure it bends in that direction. That work is now yours to carry forward. You came to Stetson to challenge yourself, to grow, to question, and discover your voice. And look at you now. You now have done the challenging work. You have entered this moment. Of course, no one gets here alone. Look around at your professors, your family, your friends. These are the people who challenged you and supported you, and most importantly, believed in you. And that spirit of mutual support is what makes Stetson so special. Let me offer one reminder as you leave here and begin to shape your careers. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg once said, Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in the way that will lead others to join you in the courtroom, in your communities, in your daily work, and you will have the opportunity to lead by an example, by wisdom, grace, and conviction. And finally, as you rise in your careers, make space for those who follow. One of the greatest rewards that we'll find is the chance to fill and pay forward and support you will have received. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations and best wishes to each of you. We are certainly proud of you, we are rooting for you, and we look forward to the difference you will make. Thank you so much. And before I turn over the podium, this is my last graduation as chair. I've been on the Board of Trustees for 14 years, and I just want to say a personal thanks to the president, the dean, the provost, and all the faculty that have made this law school so special. So I want the families to understand the dedication that is exhibited here every day for the benefit of our students. You should rest assured that is a tremendous amount of support for our students. So I want to thank everybody.
Thank you, Chair Alexander. Please join me in welcoming now the Chair of our Board of Overseers, Jason Turner.
Good afternoon. I'm humbled to, first of all, graduates, are you still with us? We're at a concert venue, come on. Okay, that was pathetic. I am humbled to greet each of you here today as the chair of your board at the law school. I'm here to congratulate you personally and on behalf of the board for your years of very hard work to get where you are here today. You no doubt have felt the rigors of your law school education, but most of all, I hope you have felt the very sincere love and care that each and every one of those who came before you have for each of you here today. You've already heard it a few times. Today, you join a rich 125-year legacy of the Stetson College of Law graduates who will go out into the world and apply those skills that you learned over the past few years. But know that our jobs are not easy. If it were easy, it'd probably be a lot easier to get your law degree. But each of you know that you are very capable of meeting that challenge. If you happen to remember anything as far as nuggets of wisdom here today, I hope that you will remember these words. You have been one of the very fortunate few who have had the great opportunity to earn your law degree, not just from Florida's first, but from Florida's best law school. As lawyers, we are so deeply privileged to do what we get to do for a living. You've already heard again, it's a calling. This is not a choice. At least I don't believe that it's a choice. I believe each and every one of you are here today because you were called for one reason or another to go into this great profession. People will come to you for help with their challenges, and most of all, they're going to trust that you never forget that they are your client and that it is your obligation to represent that client with the utmost integrity, respect, and humility every single step of the way. No client is ever worth losing your reputation or your law license. Just like Stetson earned its reputation as Florida's best over the past 125 years, it took a number of these years for Stetson College of Law to achieve that. But like with all reputations, it can be lost overnight. Try to remember that each and every day as you enter the practice of law. As you go forward and prepare for the bar, please know that the support that you have felt over these past several years at Stetson does not end today. You are officially a part of that 125-year legacy. We are here for you in whatever way that we can assist you. And as you go out and begin your next chapter, I trust that you too will consider paying it forward by making yourselves available to those who come after you, just as there were many of those there for you over the past several years. Whether that be serving as a mentor, becoming involved in various alumni activities, or by giving back in other ways as you become able to do so. In that, I promise that you will feel very rewarded. Ultimately, I hope that you never forget where you came from, not just in the early years of your life, but during these past several years that you've been at the College of Law. Being a Stetson lawyer is an immense honor that very few get to experience. Take that honor and respect those who came before you, as well as those who will come after you, by demonstrating how you practice each and every day from here on out. We are so very proud of you. Many congratulations, not just to you, but to each and every one of your family members, your friends, your partners, your spouses, everybody who supported you along your way. It truly is a team effort. I also don't want to forget your absolutely world-class faculty who ushered you through to this very day. Best of luck on the bar exam. We've got your backs. Go out and make us proud. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chair Turner. I now invite Stetson Lawyers Alumni Association President Howard Williams to offer greetings.
Good afternoon, faculty, family, honored guests, and most importantly, the remarkable class of 2026. It is a pleasure to stand here today, not only to congratulate you, but welcome you as an alumni into the Stetson Law family as the current president of the Stetson Lawyers Alumni Association. I have two words that I would like you to remember today: legacy and destiny. There's a famous proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. More than 125 years ago, trees were planted here at Stetson. Those trees represented the legacy of Stetson, and that legacy will follow you everywhere you go. It will tell other lawyers and judges that you were trained, that you were prepared, and that you are ready for the work ahead. It will say that you come from one of the nation's best law schools in not just research and writing, but trial advocacy. It may even say you learn the rule against perpetuities. The legacy that shade from those trees will protect you during the storms in your life. If you have a rough day, if your career's not going as planned, or if you face uncertainty. And it will provide you sunshine during your greatest moments, when you earn a promotion, when you hang your first shingle, when you're appointed to the bench, or when you become the CEO of your next company. The Stetson legacy is a badge, and you will wear it with pride. I know I do. For nearly 15 years, it has opened doors and provided opportunities for me and my family that I never imagined. It has given me an experience that only Stetson Law can provide. But the second part of that quote is about destiny. The second best time to plant a tree is today. And that is exactly what each of you in the class of 2026 will do. Next to those trees planted 125 years ago, there's fresh ground and it's waiting for you. The world needs you and what you have to offer. It needs your creativity, it needs your energy, it needs your tenacity, and it needs your determination. Your destiny is in your hands, and whatever you do with it is up to you. But the best part of that is you don't have to figure it out alone. Dean Barros is here for you. The Stetson Lawyers Alumni Association is here for you. Our career services will be here for you. When you need a letter of recommendation, see me. When you need someone to make a phone call on your behalf, call me. When you need advice about whether to leave your job and become your own boss, Stetson will be there for you. When it's time to run for judge, when it's time to open your own practice, or when it's time for you to become the next in your family's legacy to continue your firm, Stetson will be there as well. Your destiny begins with the trees you guys are planting here today. In 5, 10, 15 years from today, you will look back and realize this was one of the greatest decisions of your life. And Stetson will be there then, just like it has been for the last 125 years, helping students discover the when, the where, the why, and how to turn their dreams into reality. The only thing that I ask of you is this: when you reach your destiny, and I am very confident each one of you will, remember to come back to Stetson. Remember to help the next you along the way. Remember that legacy and that destiny. Congratulations, class of 2026. Welcome to the profession, welcome to the alumni family, and welcome to a future that needs you more than you know. Thank you.
Thank you, President Williams. It's my pleasure to invite your SBA President, William Austin Dodson, to offer greetings.
Good afternoon to our faculty who cold called us into becoming better thinkers, to our families and friends who patiently listened to us explain cases they never asked about, and to my fellow graduates, many of whom instinctively respond to any sneeze with a good-natured, "God bless you." Thank you for that, Professor Palermo. A year ago, shortly after being elected, I stood in front of many of you and said something that may have felt more like a warning than encouragement. I told you that as our student leaders, the hardest part of law school was still ahead, that the comfort of entering our final year would give way to new pressures, harder classes, higher expectations for events, the looming reality of careers, and the quiet but persistent question, am I actually ready for this? I challenged you not to coast, not to let the momentum we built here in our first 2 years fade away into complacency at the end, and I asked you to be intentional with your time, your goals, and the kind of lawyer you wanted to become. I asked you to lean into discomfort because that is where growth happens. So today, standing here, I think it is only fair to ask, what did you do with that challenge? Because this past year tested us in new ways. For many of you, it meant stepping into leadership roles on journals, in organizations, and in clinics, where the responsibility was real and the margin for error felt smaller. You brought meaningful speakers to campus and challenged them to defend their ideas. For others, it meant stepping beyond this campus and into internships and jobs where you were no longer just a student, but someone expected to contribute, perform, and represent something bigger than yourself. And for all of us, it meant coming to terms with a difficult truth. Law school does not end with a sense of complete readiness. There is no moment where everything clicks. Instead, there is a realization that being a lawyer is not about having all the answers. It is about knowing how to find them, how to argue them, and how to stand behind them. That realization can be unsettling, but it is also empowering. Because if you think back to where you were a year ago, the difference is undeniable. Not because everything is easier now, but because you are different, better, more prepared. And if you look back 3 years, the transformation is even clearer. We now approach problems in ways that once felt foreign. We carry ourselves with confidence, not arrogance, but the kind of confidence that comes from being tested and proving to ourselves that we can meet that lofty ideal of the Stetson lawyer. Now, I know things did not go exactly as you planned, because success in law school is not a straight line. There were missed opportunities, jobs that did not come through, objections that were overruled when they should have been rightfully sustained, classes that did not go as expected, moments where you questioned whether you were on the right path. But you adjusted, you adapted, and you kept moving forward. And that, more than anything, is what this experience was about. Not perfection, but resilience. Not certainty, but growth. Not having it all figured out, but learning how to figure things out. So if the question a year ago was, Will you rise to the challenge? Today, the answer is right in front of me. You did. Not perfectly, not without setbacks, but you did. And now as we close this chapter, the challenge changes. Because the next step is not about meeting expectations, it is about defining them. There is no syllabus anymore, no curve, no penultimate test telling you you're doing it all right. You have to decide what your success will look like. And that is both exciting and a little bit intimidating, because the legal profession offers many paths. Some are well-worn, others are not. There are traditional measures of success, but there are also quieter ones. The clients you help, the integrity you maintain, and the impact you have on your community. A year ago, I challenged you to be intentional. Today, I challenge you to be deliberate. Deliberate in your choices, deliberate in your work, and deliberate in the kind of person and lawyer you choose to be. Because your career will not just reflect your abilities, it will reflect your values. There will be moments when the easier path is not the right one, moments when doing the right thing costs you something, whether that is time, opportunity, or even personal comfort. In those moments, who you are will matter more than what you know. In a time when political division and our differences often create distance, it is more important than ever to stop and lean in, because what we have learned here is something rare. We have learned how to listen, how to challenge ideas without dismissing people, and how to find nuance in places where people only see division. Real change does not come from talking past each other. It comes from collaboration. It comes from communication, and it comes from a willingness to engage, even whenever that engagement is uncomfortable. That is what we have practiced here, and that is what the legal profession needs. Because as lawyers, we are trained to see both sides, to find common ground, and to navigate complexity instead of avoiding it. So as you move forward, do not lose that. Use it. Use it to push back against polarization. Use it to bring people together. Use it not to be just an advocate, but a bridge. Some say that character is not something law school can teach. I disagree. I believe this place has been shaping exactly that in all of us. In the way you supported each other, and the way you showed up when it mattered, and in the way you handled setbacks, disagreements, and uncertainty. Those experiences matter. They will stay with you long after today. And as we move forward, I leave you with this. A year ago, I asked you to rise to the challenge in front of you. Today, I ask you to become the kind of people who do not wait for challenges, but seek out those opportunities to make a difference. Not because it is easy, not because it is expected, but because it is right. The law gives you the power to advocate, to influence, and to shape outcomes that matter. With that power comes responsibility. Responsibility to your clients, to the system, and to yourselves. Do not take that lightly, but do not shy away from it either. Because if this past year has shown us anything, it is that you are capable of more than you think. So carry that with you. Carry the lessons, the growth, and the resilience into whatever comes next. And when you face new challenges, remember this moment. Remember what it took to get here, because you have already done something difficult, and you did it together. Congratulations, class of 2026. It has been a privilege to challenge you, and an even greater privilege to represent you. Thank you, and go Hatters.
Thank you, Austin. At this time, I would like to take a moment to honor a member of our Stetson Law family whose journey ended far too soon. Logan Trier West was a student of exceptional promise, dedication, and integrity. Logan was a valued member of the Stetson Law community who left a positive mark on all whose path he crossed. He was a shining light amongst his peers. He was thoughtful, funny, and authentic. As his closest friends described him, he was, in every sense of the word, a gentleman. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Stetson University College of Law, it's my honor to present a degree of Juris Doctor in memoriam to his family with our deepest condolences and enduring admiration. Provost Scomp, with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Stetson University, I present Michael Leparco to receive the honorary degree of Doctors of Law.
Thank you, Vice Dean Palmer. Mr. Leparco is a seasoned CEO and consumer-focused leader with more than 25 years' experience building and growing highly technical and cross-border manufacturing businesses. Most recently, he served as CEO of Symbotic, an AI and software-enabled warehouse robotics and automation company, where he led the company's successful IPO. Prior to Symbotic, Mr. Leparco spent more than 2 decades at Jabil Incorporated, where he rose through the ranks to become CEO of the Electronics Manufacturing Services, or EMS, segment in 2020, with responsibility for more than $22 billion in global operations. Prior to that, he served as CEO of the Engineered Solutions Division beginning in 2014. In these roles, Mr. Leparco ultimately led enterprise supply chain and operations across 25 countries with a workforce of more than 80,000 employees. During his tenure at Jabil, he was responsible for driving growth, innovation, digital transformation, operational efficiencies, establishing technology roadmaps, transforming complex supply chains, and working with sophisticated OEM, JDM partners in a diverse array of end markets, including robotics, smart home appliances, and broader consumer electronics. He is also very familiar with iRobot's product portfolio, having worked closely with the company during his time at Jabil. Additionally, Mr. Leparco currently serves on the boards of directors at E2 IP Technologies and Illumis, is strategic advisor to the Israeli-Canadian-based Oz Ventures, and has additional public and private company board experience. Before joining Jabil, Mr. Leparco practiced corporate and commercial litigation. He holds a JD with honors from Stetson University College of Law and a BA in International Business from Eckerd College. He is a licensed attorney and active member of the Florida Bar.
Thank you for the warm introduction. Good afternoon to the faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, of course, the class of 2026. Congratulations. Today is your day, and it's an honor to stand here with you as Stetson College of Law marks its 125th anniversary as Florida's oldest law school. I'm truly humbled and also fairly certain I wasn't the first call. But I'll take it because I'm genuinely grateful to be here. Now, let me start with something you already know, but it's worth pausing on. Today, you graduate from a law school ranked #1 in the country in trial advocacy and #1 in the country in legal writing. #1 in the country. That's not just impressive, it's meaningful, and you should be very proud. I'd also suggest the parents sitting here today, who may have funded this entire journey, are not just proud, they're probably relieved. But here's why those rankings really matter. Those 2 skills, your ability to advocate and your ability to communicate clearly and persuasively, are not just legal skills. They are life skills. Leadership skills, the foundation of influence in any room you will ever walk into. And they travel from the courtroom to the boardroom, from Fortune 500 companies to startups and into roles in industries, I promise, don't even exist yet today. Now, I also recognize I'm standing in a genuinely dangerous position between you and the degree you've spent 3 hard years to earn. So I'll try to keep this at least mildly interesting, perhaps even a bit useful. Let me share a little bit of my story, not because it's extraordinary or anything, but because it proves something I hope you carry with you today. The training, skills, and values you've gained here at Stetson give you something that doesn't show up on a transcript. That is, the confidence with humility to have a voice in rooms where you may not yet feel like you fully belong. I know this because it did exactly that for me. After graduating from Stetson, I started my career 30 years ago as a lawyer at Holland & Knight, an amazing firm, incredible people. Like many of you, I had a plan, a path, a pretty clear picture of what I thought the next 30 years were supposed to look like. And at that exact moment, the mid to late 90s, the world was starting to change. Something was just beginning to take hold: the internet. Silicon Valley was gaining momentum, stock options were becoming in vogue, and names like Microsoft, Yahoo, and Cisco were being thrown around every day, just like you hear names like Anthropic, OpenAI, and NVIDIA today. Now, around that time, our firm began doing legal work for a relatively small, high-tech manufacturing company right here in St. Petersburg. One of the partners I worked with left Holland & Knight to become general counsel, and I followed him, but not into legal, into the business. Now, I didn't have an engineering degree, no fancy MBA. What I had was a law degree from Stetson. And those skills followed me everywhere. Because what this place gives you isn't just knowledge of the law. Hell, AI can basically do that today. What Stetson gives you is something far more enduring, a superpower. It teaches you how to think, how to analyze, how to interrogate data, how to make decisions with judgment and integrity, and how to communicate clearly and persuasively. #1 in trial advocacy, #1 in legal writing. That matters. And for me, and for our little high-tech manufacturing company, well, the proverbial dog caught the bus. And over the next nearly 25 years, we grew that business from a few $100 million to more than $30 billion in revenue across 25 countries. Which brings me to my first point. Your Stetson Law degree is not a destination. It's a launching pad. It gives you the ability to do anything in law or beyond. And it gives you something incredibly powerful: optionality. You are not confined to one path, not limited to one career, not locked into one version of success. And that's powerful. Now, along the way, life has a way of winking at you. And sometimes it doesn't just wink, it pulls you in. 2 weeks after I got married, I came home one night and asked my wife if she wanted to go to China. I just helped close a big deal in Shanghai and was asked to run all of business development across Asia. My wife, thinking I was proposing some romantic Far East honeymoon, said yes. What she didn't realize was that I meant move there, to China, as an expat. Not someday, not eventually, right then. Looking back, that may have been the fastest stress test of a marriage in recorded history. But after a brief pause, she said yes. We packed up our lives and moved halfway around the world. New culture, new language, no real roadmap, just opportunity. And for someone who spent his career in high tech, my wife still likes to joke, it's amazing I never found my sensitivity chip. She's not wrong, although I'd like to think my software has been upgraded a few times over the years. Which brings me to my second point. Choose your partner wisely. It will shape the trajectory of your life and your career, likely more than any other decision you make. And if you get lucky like I did, marry up. Now, if you'd asked me 30 years ago whether I'd ever be researching the intricacies of the 1993 Hague Convention on intercountry adoptions, I probably would have laughed. But once again, that's exactly what a Stetson Law degree equips you to do. During our years in China, our lives changed in ways we never could have imagined. A young infant girl was born with a rare condition. Her organs formed outside her body, and that's where we found our daughter, Isabella. Now, she didn't come to us the way we expected, but she came into our lives exactly the way she was meant to. Which brings me to my third point. Be open to experiences outside of your master plan. You never know the joy and the meaning they might bring. A decision that probably didn't make a lot of sense on paper, a challenging international adoption, a child with special needs, something completely outside the script, led to one of the most important and cherished relationships in my life. And now, she's graduating from Berkeley Prep right here in Tampa and heading to Villanova. So, go Wildcats. So graduates, say yes to life, not recklessly, but thoughtfully, with both your legal mind and your heart. Take the meeting, return the call, have the conversation, take that chance, because I promise you, nobody builds an interesting life from the sidelines. Which inevitably leads me to my fourth point, and hear me clearly on this one. Life is untidy. As the saying goes, man plans and God laughs. Well, graduates, God has a spectacular sense of humor. Life will bring you chaos in the form of minor quakes, major ones, tropical storms, and yes, Cat 5 hurricanes delivered right to your doorstep. Over the years, I was passed over for promotions. I lost deals I'd spent years building. 6 months ago, almost to this day, I lost my mom. You will have setbacks, heartbreaks, crushing disappointments. You'll make mistakes, you'll face loss, and some of it will knock you flat. That's not the part they put in the brochure, but it's in every life worth living. So build your support system now. Your spouse, your partner, your friends, your community. Get a dog, but build an ecosystem, not a single point of failure. Like a rabbit that always keeps 3 warrens, have multiple places to turn. Lean on your people, because one day they're going to need to lean on you too. And that's what creates real depth in your relationships. But also remember, those moments aren't failures. They're part of the natural cycle, and nobody has a straight line of success up and to the right. So don't lose yourself in the curated highlight reels on social media. Play your own game, define your own success. As my daughter recently reminded me, right in the thick of the college applications process, Dad, it's not rejection, it's redirection. She's 17, and she's absolutely right. The windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason. Keep looking forward. Which brings me to my fifth, and I promise, final point. Understand the moment you are entering. 30 years ago, it was the internet. Most people really didn't see it coming, then it changed everything. Today, it's AI. In just the last few weeks, a handful of companies announced over $725 billion in AI infrastructure investment for the next year alone. Add the hyperscalers and cloud providers to that, and we're looking at more than $1 trillion in a single year. That's not a trend. That's a once-in-a-generation transformation. And it will dramatically reshape every industry, including law. So, the question isn't whether AI will affect you. It will. The only question is how you choose to engage with it. My advice, don't fear it, learn it, use it, master it. Persistence and mastery, those are two skills you've already built here, so leverage them. Because the real risk isn't that AI replaces you. The real risk is that someone else knows how to use it better. Now, as a Stetson grad, you have every advantage. You've learned to frame issues, to deal with ambiguity, to operate with judgment and integrity. Those skills don't compete with AI, they amplify it. Legal understanding, AI fluency, and the ability to advocate and communicate clearly, that's a force multiplier, and very few people have all three. So back in the 90s, knowing Lexis and Westlaw cold gave you a real edge. This is that moment again, only bigger, much bigger. So let me leave you with this. You don't need to have it all figured out, because the best parts of your life won't come from the master plan. They'll come from the moments you had the courage to step outside it. My Stetson Law degree launched me in ways I never could have seen. But the things I'm most proud of, you won't find those on my resume. The family I built, the risks I took, the relationships that spanned decades and continents, the shared experiences, those are what make a rich life. Class of 2026, this is your moment. Take your shots, say yes to life, go build your own unique story, and know that your Stetson Law degree is riding shotgun wherever you choose to go. And I've got a feeling you're gonna go pretty far. Best of luck and congratulations, you've earned it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's please give another round of applause for our very special honorary degree recipient, Michael Laparco. All right, it's time. It's now time to celebrate our graduates. Provost Scomp. Today, we recognize the December 2025 graduates and honor the students who are candidates for the May and August 2026 Juris Doctor degree, the LLM in Advocacy, the LLM in Elder Law, the LLM in International Law, and the dual degrees. We anticipate that all candidates listed in the graduation program will meet the requirements for their respective degrees. As such, I ask that you prospectively confer their degrees on them. Graduates, please stand. Graduates, please stay standing. After Provost Scomp speaks, the graduates' names will be read by Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Stacey Ray Simcox, and Associate Dean for Assessment and Professional Engagement, Ann Mullins. And now, Provost Scomp.
Thank you, Vice Dean Palmer. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Stetson University, pursuant to the charter granted by the state of Florida, I pronounce you graduates of Stetson University and confer upon you all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. Graduates, please come forward as your name is called.
Good afternoon. It is our pleasure to present to you the Fall 2025 graduates and Spring and Summer 2026 degree candidates. the spring and summer 2026 degree candidates for the Master of Laws in Advocacy with honors, Amy Ann Catledge. With honors, Catherine Elizabeth Larson. The spring and summer 2026 degree candidates for the Master of Laws in International Law with honors, Viviani Gisane. With honors, Zineb Mabrour. And now it is our pleasure to present the Fall 2025 Juris Doctor candidates, Megan L. Bowers. With honors, Logan Wallen. Now, it is our pleasure to present the Spring and Summer 2026 Juris Doctor degree candidates. With honors, Curtis Abely. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by his wife, Ms. Audrey Adams, a 2025 graduate of the College of Law. There she is. With a certificate of concentration in environmental law, with honors, James Clark Adams. Alexandra Sarah Adler. With a certificate of concentration in business law, Jordan Mackenzie Allen. With honors, Miracle Ann Amiot. Brittany N. Andreas. With honors, Emily Lynn Aspinall. With a certificate of concentration in environmental law, and with honors, Maria Elizabeth Asimakopoulos. Taylor Atkins Lewis. With honors, Tara L. Basili. Ethan Michael Burdine. With a certificate of concentration in advocacy, Eric Michael Bergen. Ethan G. Burling. Samantha Joan Byerly. Zane Bixby. With a certificate of concentration in business law and with honors, Joseph T. Gage Bonjorn. With honors, Ryan M. Borsis. Ross M. Botwinick. Abigail Buzianis. Jessica Marie Bowling. With honors, Sarah G. Boylan. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her stepmother, Ms. Lisa McLean, a 1990 graduate of the College of Law. Sarah Breland. Grace Ann Buckhorn. London Renee Bush. With honors, Lucia Mercedes Caballero Bentley. Ruby Calvillo. With a certificate of concentration in advocacy and a certificate of concentration in criminal law, J.C. Ray Cannon. Blake Andrew Carlson. With a certificate of concentration in business law with honors, Kenneth C. Carnes. Hannah Leanne Carpenter. With honors, Paul S. Castellano. Hudson Michael Cato. Abigail M. Kavanaugh. With honors, Gavin Ross Chambers. Cecilia Chase. Justin T. Coffey. Darian Roxanne Coughlin. With a certificate of concentration in business law with honors, Nicholas S. Colici. Lorenzo G. Collazo Santiago. Anthony Alexander Camitos. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by his wife, Ms. Olivia Connolly, a 2024 graduate of the College of Law. Sean P. Connolly. Joseph Alexander Cooley. With a certificate of concentration in elder law with honors, Amanda Grace Coonrod. Christopher Jerome Cooper. Delaney Ashlyn Koonsman. With honors, Jessica Morgan Canoyer. Lola Anna Andrea Coutel. With honors, Rachel B. Crofton. Austin James Q. Logan E. Culp. Mackenzie Taylor Curcio. With a certificate of concentration in business law in absentia, Donna Dallel. Emmanuel Alberto Didiego. So proud. Brianna Rose DeFelice. With honors, Laura Erin Delaney. Brianna Delphine D'Amelio. With honors, Gary Patrick Denby. With the Certificate of Concentration in Social Justice Advocacy, Charity Danae Dara. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her mother, Ms. Donna D. Stockham, a 1997 graduate of the College of Law. Megan Kate Devaney. With honors, Nico Sabatino DeVito. With honors, Isabella M. Diaco. With a Certificate of Concentration in Elder Law, Mackenzie Jane Diaz. William Austin Dodson. With a JD and a Master of International and European Business Law, Margarita N. Dotel Curry. Kayla C. Doherty. Vince Duong. Julia K. Dupree. Nicole Hannah Epstein. With honors, Jet H. Fable. Layla Serene Farah. With honors, Marley Dawn Farlow. Grayson Marie Ferber. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by his father, Mr. John Ferrari Jr., a 2013 graduate of the College of Law. With a certificate of concentration in elder law, Jeffrey Vincent Ferrari. With a certificate of concentration in social justice advocacy, Haven Renee Flaherty. With honors, Brooke Alexa Fopiano. Isabella Therese Forshell. With honors, Kaylin Ann Fox. With a certificate of concentration in advocacy and a certificate of concentration in criminal law, Maya Nicole Fredrich. Jacob C. Freeman.
With honors, Deanna Marie Gambino. Anna Lee Gammons. Certificate of Concentration in Environmental Law with honors, Annabella Garcia. Certificate of Concentration in Environmental Law, Ethan Roy Garcia. JD MBA, Certificate of Concentration in Business Law with honors, Madeline Grace Garcia. Victoria Garcia Carleo. Alexandra C. Georgilakis. Certificate of Concentration in Social Justice Advocacy with honors, William Lucian Girardi. With honors, Frank Nicholas Galarakis. Giovanna A. Gibson. Certificate of Concentration in Business Law, Allison G. Gilliland. Valeria Gilmudinova. Anthony M. Joya. Autumn Marie Glazer. Certificate of Concentration in Business Law with honors, Madison A. Goff. Tyler Goldberg. With honors, Marie Irene Goldstenay. Gabriela Gomez. With honors, Alexis E. Gonzalez. Darcy A. Gott. Alexander Vasilios Gregory. With honors, Asa McCollin Guido. Dita Marie Hahn. With honors, Patricia Irene Bishop Hamlin. Gabrielle Lynn Hampton. Samantha Kimberly Harrison. Certificate of Concentration in Advocacy, Garrett Austin Hecker. Certificate of Concentration in Business Law with honors, Victor Javier Hernandez, Jr. Certificate of Concentration in Advocacy with honors, Christopher Charles Hewlett. Jessica Nicole Hobkirk. With honors, Mason Todd Holder. Lindsay A. Holzhauer. Chloe Magdalena Hosley. With honors, Alexis Monique, with honors, Hannah Huff. With honors, Alexis Monique Moore-Howes. Chloe Morgan Hubbs. Certificate of Concentration in Social Justice Advocacy, Hemsa Khalid Islam. Olivia Lauren Jacob. John Henry Jackmine. Christine Birdsong James. Sloan Adeline Jarvis. Shannon Elizabeth Johnston. With honors, Olivia A. Kelly. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by his father, Mr. Brian D. Kennedy, a 2000 JD graduate and a 2021 LLM graduate of the College of Law. William T. Kennedy. With honors, Alan P. Curvin. With honors, Muhammad A. Khan. In absentia with honors, Kimberly Dawn Kirtley. Allison Maria Klein. Certificate of Concentration in Criminal Law, Certificate of Concentration in Social Justice Advocacy, Mariah J. Knopp. Sydney P. Comroff. Carson Blair Lackey. Anthony Lake. Hannah Catherine Lazar. Abigail L. Leahy. With honors, Brendan Lee. Spencer M. Lee. With honors, Megan H. Leiter. Seth John Liskanek. Avi Levin. Lauren M. Luchuk. With honors, Morgan E. Lewis. With honors, Paige K. Lease. With honors, Rachel V. Lease. Lorenda L. Leitner Becerra. With honors, Alessandria M. Ligori. Bryce L. Livingston. Certificate of Concentration in Environmental Law, Anna Elizabeth Long. Adriana Luth Chaccio. Hannah Nicole Ludke. Cameron Kenneth Lulich.
Mara E. Makia. Mary Catherine McKay. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her cousin, the Honorable Gus Bilirakis, a 1989 graduate of the College of Law. With honors, Evangelia Sophia Manus. The next graduate is called in absentia, with honors, Isabel Marhoon. Not in absentia. It's like magic. Matthew Marks. This one's in absentia. Certificate of Concentration in International Law, also receiving the dual JD degree with the Master of International and European Business Law, with honors, Andrea Sofia Martinez de Toro. Ernesto Jose Martinez Garcia. In absentia. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her mother-in-law, Ms. Stephanie Van Brown, a 1996 graduate of Stetson University and a 1999 graduate of the College of Law. With honors, Tiffany Amber Maziars. Receiving the dual JD degree with the Master of International Economic Law with honors, Ansley Claire McCoy. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? With a certificate of concentration in international law, receiving the dual JD Master of International and European Business Law with honors, Andrea Sofia Martinez de Toro. Receiving the dual JD Master of International Economic Law, Jonathan Reese McKay. Jackson K. McMillan. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her mother, Ms. Stacy M. Berkowitz, a 2000 graduate of the College of Law. Madison Emily McNellis. Madison Riley McPhail. Kate Mackenzie McQuaig. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by his aunt, Ms. Julie Meisner, a 1987 graduate of the College of Law. Michael Evan Meisner. With honors, Amber M. Melendez. Avery Mezrub. With honors, Morgan Elizabeth Milkey. In absentia, Rachel J. Miller. Brady C. Murrett. Bayan S. Muhammad. With honors, Brianna Megan Kathleen Montero. Catherine Rose Murphy. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her brother, Mr. Clark Newby, a 2024 graduate of the College of Law, receiving the JED with the Master of Business Administration, Coral Elizabeth Newby. Jocelyn Beth Newman. Madison Lynn Neelio. Emily Christine Novotny. Andrew Joseph Nuyens IV. With a certificate of concentration in business law with honors, Rebecca Dawn Oakday. Ethan Edwin Olson. Tyler Oots. Ethan Michael Page. Sophia Marie Palatianos. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her cousin, the Honorable Carrie Ann Wozniak, a 2004 graduate of the College of Law. With a certificate of concentration in environmental law with honors, Dominique R. Palka. Austin T. Parmenter. Nicholas Andrew Pepe. Ana Perea Sanchez. Adriana Pereira. With a certificate of concentration in environmental law and a certificate of concentration in social justice advocacy, Noah Solomon Peretz. With honors, Jacob Peter Ponzoli. Mark Gregory Potempa. With honors, Taylor Marie Prerost. J.C. Pritchett III. With honors, Emma Hathaway Quattlebaum. Alexa H. Rapp. With honors, Stephen M. Rausa. Brooke Maycong Reeves. With a certificate of concentration in social justice advocacy, Hema Isabel Reyes. Dylan Walter Rizanka. With honors, Paige Robinson. Osmara Rodriguez. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by his sister, Ms. Amy Rower, a 2024 graduate of the College of Law. With a certificate of concentration in business law, Zachary D. Rower. With a certificate of concentration in elder law, Taryn Jade Rollins. Corinne S. Rose. Allison Nicole Rothman. Daniel F. Rouse. Matthew Benjamin Rubin.
Spencer Robert Sanchez. Deepika Shrud Sate. Tyson Allen Savaretti. Madeline Ann Schlickenmeyer. In absentia, Justin Thomas Schubert. Certificate of Concentration in Social Justice Advocacy, Bailey Faye Schumacher. Certificate of Concentration in Business Law, Zachary Schwartz. With honors, Courtney Jude Schwer. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her cousin, Mr. Trey Musley, a 2023 graduate of the College of Law. Layton Tyler Scroggy. Tyler J. Seegers. Dylan Selman. Certificate of Concentration in Environmental Law with honors, Cheyenne Autumn Sharp. Alexis Michelle Sharp. With honors, Brooke Whitaker Sheaf. Holly Rumania Sehombing. Certificate of Concentration in International Law, Tallis Mullen Simmons. Yona Skendai. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her mother, Ms. Helen Strategakos, a 1988 graduate of Stetson University and a 1990 graduate of the College of Law. Daniela Eleni Sleet. With honors, Avery James Smith. Clayton T. Smith. Daniel H. Smith. Certificate of Concentration in Elder Law, Timothy Jerome Cameron Sneed. With honors, Kayla Samoano. Irene K. Saranis. The diploma for our next graduate will be presented by her father, Mr. Walter Soa, a 2012 JD graduate and a 2016 LLM graduate of the College of Law. Emily Iona Soa. Certificate of Concentration in Advocacy, Randall Matthew Spivey. Certificate of Concentration in Criminal Law with honors, John Cook Stafford. Certificate of Concentration in Elder Law, Peyton Luke Stafford. In absentia, Madison Louise Stanley. Oh, and not in absentia again. Certificate of Concentration in Elder Law, Rachel Ann Steinke. With honors, Jalen Lawrence Stubblefield. Jesse Aaron Swearingen. Christian Joseph Sweeney. Avery Lynn Swigert. Ashley Nicole Taylor. Hallie Marie Taylor. John David Thompson, Jr. With honors, Lily C. Thrift. Lauren J. Throdahl. That's not Lauren. Lauren. Is that Lauren? Certificate of Concentration in Business Law with honors, E. Kellen Timothy. Kenny Toe. Cameron Eric Tachi. Lauren Olivia Townsend. Kevin Joshua Tranya. Victoria Rose Trigona. With honors, Isabel Maria Troncoso. Annabella Kate Tubbs. Lauren L. Turner. Certificate of Concentration in Social Justice Advocacy, Sophia Adele Tuzinski. Brianna Valdez. With honors, Andrew James Valenti. Nicholas Paul Vallow. With honors, Franhet Ezekiel Vargas. Esteban Villanueva II. Ian W. Wallace. Connor Jason Wirtz. With honors, Sam Michael Wexler. With honors, Alexis Joe Williams. McKaylee H. Williams. With a JD and LLM in International and European Business Law, Robert H. Willis III. Amber Marie Wilson. Haley Jordan Walken. Certificate of Concentration in Business Law, Curtis J. Wozniak. Susanna Bellamy Yeager. And in absentia, Konstantina Elena Zacharakis. Please join us in congratulating all of our graduates.
All right. I'll ask everyone to please take their seats. All right. We're almost there. It says closing remarks on the top of my script, so I know we're almost there. All right. Congratulations, class of 2026. Graduates, I want you now to please take a moment to think back to when you first came to law school. Just pause and take a moment to reflect on how much you have learned and how much you have grown in your time here. I'm sure when you first arrived, we told you that law school would transform you. I think you'll agree we were right about that. Second, I'd like graduates, for all of you to please stand right now. And graduates, I would ask you now to take a moment to give a round of applause to the faculty and staff who supported you throughout your years at Stetson. Now, graduates, I would like you to find your people in the audience. Look around, find them, and give them a round of applause. We all know that they gave you all a lot of support while you were in law school. Family, supporters, friends, you were there when our students needed you the most. However, it's important to understand that our graduates aren't quite done. You graduates know you're not done. You spent years working incredibly hard to earn your law degree. Let's be sure we keep going to the finish line. And all of you, family, friends, know that they need your support until the bar exam is behind them. They're not quite done yet. Class of 2026, we are so incredibly proud of you and all that you have achieved so far. Today, we celebrate each and every one of you. And from today forward, we are proud to call you graduates and alumni of the Stetson University College of Law. Again, audience, you've anticipated me, so I'm going to say it anyway. One more time, let's give it up for our graduates. Audience, I'll ask you all to remain where you are while our graduates recession out. Thank you all for coming. Be well and be safe.